Hi, Michael Balesta here with you for Indians and Browns recaps as well as the upcoming schedule thanks to the MLB At Bat app, NFL app, website, and video content. Last Tuesday, the Indians were coming off the high of a walk-off home run by Carlos Santana to beat the Boston Red Sox the previous night before almost 25,000 fans in paid attendance. Cleveland would fall behind in the second game of this series. Mookie Betts opened the game off with a triple and was driven in by Rafael Devers, giving Boston a 1-0 lead. In the top of the second, with two down, Betts was at the plate with runners at first and second. The right fielder looped a base hit into left field. Greg Allen threw quickly to Jose Ramirez, and the third baseman tagged out Sandy Leon at third, but not before Marco Hernandez scored. Cleveland answered back in their half of the fourth inning. Carlos Santana drove in his 27th homer to make the score 2-1. Mike Clevinger was unable to keep the margin at 1 in the fifth. Rafael Devers and J.D. Martinez each got aboard, setting up Mitch Moreland and Hernandez to each connect on RBI singles. Things were not looking good in the next inning as Josh D. Smith, who got the last out of the previous frame, lost Betts after hitting Jackie Bradley Jr. Rafael Devers hit his 42nd double to drive in two more runs. The Indians then showed their mettle down 6-1 in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Santana drew a two-out walk. Then Franmil Reyes launched his 29th deep ball to get the home team back in the game. After Smith had a 1-2-3 top of the seventh, it was time for the bats to go back to work. Roberto Perez took ball 4. Later, with one away, Allen got on via a fielder's choice as Devers committed an error, putting two in scoring position. It later led to Francisco Lindor's 28th double, helping trim the lead to 1 against Chris Sale. That was the final batter that the left-hander would face. Pitcher Adam Cimber got Martinez to ground into a double play to end the top of the eighth after the visiting team had a threat going. Cleveland faced Brandon Workman in the bottom of the ninth, needing one more run to get back on level terms. Greg Allen started off the inning with a base hit to the right side and would later take second for his third steal of the season. After Tyler Naquin was unable to advance the left fielder, Lindor came up with an RBI double, and the Indians did get that run. The shortstop tried to steal third and initially was ruled safe, but the Red Sox won the appeal and the game went into extra innings. Nick Whitgren came in for Tyler Clippard for inning number 10. He gave up a solo home run to Bradley to make it 7-6. Cleveland kept it that way going into the bottom half of the frame thanks to a relay play to tag Devers at the plate. Against Andrew Cashner, Carlos Santana hit a single but was out at second after Mike Freeman tried a bunt and was able to reach on the sequence. Jose Ramirez and Perez both swung at strike 3, which ended the game. Workman improved to 9-1 even after getting a blown save. Andrew Cashner got his first save of 2019 while Whitgren lost for the first time. Wednesday was a tough day for the Indians as they lost the 3-game set after a 5-1 defeat. Shane Bieber dropped to 12-5 while Nathan Eovaldi got his initial victory in a game where Boston used 7 pitchers. Bieber gave up solo home runs to Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts in the third inning. Francisco Lindor hit a single in the third and got to second on an error by Bogaerts. He reached third and after Oscar Mercado's hit, and then the run came after Brian Johnson threw a wild pitch. Ramirez flew out in the bottom of the fifth with 2 on after Josh Taylor came in to pitch with 2 away. Nick Goody came on in the seventh in place of Bieber, but could not keep the scoreline at 2-1. Mookie Betts recorded a 1-out double to left field. Devers was given a free pass, but Bogaerts had the big swing to left center field as he tattooed his 27th home run to open up the game. The Indians could muster very little in their remaining at-bats and did not have much time to regroup as they traveled to New York City. Thursday, the Indians were able to take out their frustration against the Yankees. They put a crooked number up in the top of the first. After a pair of singles by Lindor and Allen, Santana took base on balls. 2 batters later, Jose Ramirez drove a grand slam to center field. Jason Kipnis added a home run to make it 5-0. Chad Green was pulled, but Cleveland did not stop. Naquin reached on a single, then it was time for Roberto Perez to get in on the home run parade. His 20th capped off the 7-run frame. After New York got an RBI single by Gio Urshela, the Indians continued their abundance of runs. Ramirez homered for the second time to drive in 2. 2 innings later, Carlos Santana went deep to right center field to make the score 11-1 in the fourth inning. Allen singled to right field with 2 outs in the fifth. The Yankees did get a couple solo home runs from Didi Gregorius and Gary Sanchez. Yasiel Puig's base hit in the top of the seventh plated Perez and Allen, and it was 14-3. Urshela, as he did earlier, hit an RBI single for New York's fourth run. Cleveland finished their virtuoso performance of hitting in the top of the eighth. Hits by Reyes, Naquin, and Lindor put another run across. Greg Allen hit his fourth deep ball against Mike Ford to make it 18-4. Santana went far to right field to get one shy of 30 home runs. Gleyber Torres closed the scoring in this game with his 27th. The final score was 19-5. Adam Plutko's win made him 5-3. Chad Green recorded just one out, which pushed him to 2-4. Friday did not resemble a local softball game on a Sunday. However, it was the Yankees who got the jump on Aaron Civale. Singles by Sanchez and Torres put the hosts in front early. Ramirez did get the better of Masahiro Tanaka in the second inning to get to 20 home runs. The rest of the offense could not get going by the time Gio Urshela followed Aaron Judge's double with an RBI single. Civale gave up 8 hits but gutted his way through 6 innings. Puig did get a hold of his 24th deep ball in the top of the 7th to make it a one-run game. Ramirez reached second base on his hit to the right side with one out, but Kipnis and Reyes were unsuccessful in their attempt to drive him in. Adam Cimber did get out of trouble in the bottom half of the inning to keep it 3-2. In the 8th, Tyler Naquin got on first after an error and advanced 90 feet on Perez's sacrifice bunt, but Lindor and Allen were retired. Santana did reach against Aroldis Chapman in the 9th, but Puig, Ramirez, and Kipnis were the final 3 outs in a fast game of 2 hours and 39 minutes. Civale became 1-2, while Tanaka became a win shy of double digits against 6 losses. Chapman gained his 34th save. Saturday afternoon, things were looking good early as Santana drove in Lindor and Mercado in the top of the first. They did have 2 runners on with nobody out, but could not add to their tally. It would prove to be important in the final outcome. An inning and a half later, Cameron Maybin drew a 2-out walk. Mike Tauchman's base hit scored a run prior to him being tagged for the 3rd out. The game was tied after DJ LeMahieu's RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd. Zach Plesac gave up home runs to Gregorius and Torres in the 4th inning. Cleveland did not roll over. Francisco Lindor started a 2-out rally with an extra base hit, which was followed by a walk to Oscar Mercado. Back-to-back hits by Santana and Puig tied the game up in the top of the 5th. LeMahieu added a home run to go along with his RBI hit earlier, and New York went up 5-4. Gleyber Torres struck his second deep ball of the game in the next frame, giving the home team some breathing room, this time against Nick Whitgren. After Maybin was called for the 2nd out on strike 3, things got wild. Aaron Boone, Brett Gardner, and CC Sabathia all got ejected from the game. As for the rest of the action between the lines, Lindor grounded into a double play in the 7th, which was big because Mercado hit a double with the bases empty. Santana struck out, which was a missed opportunity. Yasiel Puig led off the 8th by getting a hit to get in scoring position against Zach Britton. After Ramirez drove the ball in for a single to left field, Cleveland had another threat going. Things got tighter as Britton threw a wild delivery, bringing the right fielder home and Jose to second. Franmil Reyes grounded out, but the Indians were in a good spot with just one away and a runner at third. Kevin Plawecki ended up grounding into a 4-3 double play, and the chance was gone. The visitors could not get a base runner on in the top of the 9th against Chapman, the closer, so it finished 6-5, so Cleveland's best hope was for a split of the series on Sunday. Plesac did not get out of the 5th inning, now sits 6-4 on the year. James Paxton is 9-6, even with a performance that was shaky. Aroldis gained another save. The finale of the 4-game set on Sunday proved that Cleveland has the bats to go toe-to-toe with New York if they meet up in a playoff series. Though the Indians did not score in the 1st inning, they were aggressive on the base paths. Oscar Mercado stole second and went to third after an error by Gary Sanchez. In the 2nd inning, the team put up 4 runs. Reyes and Perez each got hits off of CC Sabathia and were later moved over by Kipnis' sac bunt. The table was set up for Greg Allen as he grounded to the shortstop, but Reyes was able to get underneath the catcher for the game's first run. Mike Freeman connected on his 4th homer to get his team 4 runs to the good. Oscar stole another base in the inning, and the bases were eventually loaded for Reyes, but he struck out. Cleveland kept asking more questions to their counterparts. After Nestor Cortez came into pitch after CC Sabathia went 3 innings, Lindor was able to clear the fence for a home run to right center. It stayed 4-0 until the 6th. Freeman led off with a double to right field, then scored on Mercado's hit the opposite way. The Yankee bats would not be silenced in the bottom of the 7th. Hunter Wood was the victim of a deep ball from DJ LeMahieu. His 21st made it 6-2. The visitors retrieved the 2 runs back as Mercado showed his power to go along with his speed, hitting the ball out of the park. New York would get 2 consolation runs in the 9th as Brad Hand did not have to face real game pressure when coming in to get the final 3 outs. LeMahieu and Aaron Judge each got RBIs that would make the final score 8-4. As for Mike Clevenger's performance on the mound, he was fantastic. 10 strikeouts, 3 hits, and just 2 batters walked in 5 innings helped the team. He is 8-2, while CC Sabathia, who once pitched in Cleveland, was responsible for 4 runs, is 2 games under .500. Tonight it will be Shane Bieber and Steven Matz as the Indians and Mets clash in Flushing, New York. Tomorrow features Adam Plutko and Marcus Stroman. Aaron Civale versus Noah Syndergaard go at it Thursday. Cleveland comes back home to play Kansas City over the weekend for 3 games. Every game until Saturday night is scheduled for a 6:10 p.m. Central Time first pitch. Sunday begins 6 hours earlier at 12:10. Monday, the Indians get a day off before playing the Tigers in Detroit a week from today. So even with last week's surge to go briefly atop the American League Central, Cleveland gave back some ground this week, finding themselves 2 games back in the standings to Minnesota. The wildcard race is very competitive, as you might expect, with the Rays 1.5 games back for the first wildcard spot. The Oakland A's are right in the mix, just a game out of the final wildcard spot entering play today. Saturday, the Cleveland Browns beat the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 21-18. Both teams punted on their first 2 drives. On the game's 5th possession, Cleveland started with good field position. Ernest Johnson gained 11, but then lost 3 on the next play. Garrett Gilbert found Rashard Higgins on the next play to get back on schedule for a 3rd and 3. Gilbert looked for DJ Montgomery, but the Colts committed pass interference, giving the visiting side a first down just outside the red zone. Higgins and Johnson each hauled in catches to set up a goal-to-go situation. 2 plays later, Jalen Strong gave the Browns a 7-0 lead after Greg Joseph's extra point. On Indianapolis's 6th play of the next series, Adarius Taylor and Mack Wilson combined for a stop of Marlon Mack on 3rd and 1. But Jacoby Brissett found Eric Ebron at the 26 of Cleveland. The Browns backed up the Colts on a holding penalty, but gave up a score 2 plays later as Brissett went back to Ebron. Cole Hedlund's kick tied the game early in the 2nd quarter. Cleveland had a great response in their next drive. Following the touchback, Higgins and Strong moved the sticks for 2 first downs. Johnson picked up 15 on the 4th play. Then another big chunk occurred as Gilbert went to Montgomery for 32 yards to create another scoring opportunity. Johnson scored a 6-yard touchdown, and the Browns were back in front. Austin Seibert made the point after, and 14-7 was the score. D'Ernest Johnson got 1 first down, but like Indianapolis on their prior possession, had to kick the ball away. The Colts got the ball back, engineering a drive with intermediate passes. Mack Wilson, who had 2 picks last week, did get flagged for roughing the passer, but the penalty did not prove costly. The reason being that Cole Hedlund's field goal try from 51 yards was pushed to the right. The miss set up Cleveland with 37 seconds left at their own 41-yard line. Gilbert targeted Montgomery and Johnson to get in range. An illegal use of hands infraction made the kick longer. Joseph's attempt had the same result as Hedlund, and the first half expired. The Browns gave up 1 first down after halftime, but a holding penalty stalled the Colts' drive. Indianapolis committed a total of 16 accepted penalties in this preseason fixture to Cleveland's 13. Gilbert held his own, going 13 of 19 for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Johnson finished with 10 carries and 53 yards. Montgomery was the leading receiver with 3 catches for 77 yards. The Browns got their first possession of the second half, and David Blau got the nod to take the snaps. Ishmael Himayas was on the receiving end for 24 yards to get the ball close to midfield. After a holding penalty, Cleveland Ishmael Hyman was on the receiving end for 24 yards to get the ball close to midfield. After a holding penalty, Cleveland overcame a 1st and 20 situation. Blau found Dorian Baker for 23. Rico Gathers got his hands on the football to pick up a first down during the series. The team was aided by a penalty by Marvel Tell on 3rd and 7 from the 25. 2 plays later, Derek Willis caught a 4-yard pass. Siebert converted the point after. The Colts drove down the field methodically, and the Browns caught a break when Hale Henkes was called for offensive holding, taking away a Philip Walker rushing touchdown. Hedlund made a field goal from 41 yards to make it 21-10 Cleveland late in the third quarter. The road team was forced to punt after a 3-and-out. Chad Kelly came in for Philip Walker late in the third. Indianapolis began close to midfield. Ross Travis got a touchdown over the middle to complete a 5-play drive. Kelly then found Henkes for the 2-point conversion with just over 13 minutes left in the game. The Browns had 1 first down in their next 2 possessions, but punted. Wyatt Ray recorded a 10-yard sack of Kelly, and the defense stopped the Colts on 4th down. On the ensuing possession, Cleveland was already in field goal range, so they ran the ball and forced Indianapolis to spend timeouts. Unfortunately, the field goal was wide left by Austin Siebert inside of 3 minutes left. The kicking game is something to monitor when the games do count in a tight contest. The Colts got one more chance, drove deep into Browns territory facing 4th and 1 from the 10. Indianapolis went for it, naturally not wanting a preseason game to go beyond 60 minutes. Willie Harvey was in coverage as Kelly threw incomplete to Cedric Ware with less than 40 seconds left. Blau fell on the ball by taking a knee to give Cleveland 2 wins in 2 exhibition games. Up next for the Browns is a road game this Friday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 6:30 p.m. North Texas time. The preseason ends for all 32 teams on Thursday, August 29th, before the regular season gets going on the night of September 5th. Cleveland hosts the Tennessee Titans 3 Sundays on September 8th at noon Central for Week 1. Please check out the Facebook group North Texas Browns Backers page and hit the like button for the latest updates there. The text of this blog is available at http://www.mjbalesta2 as in the number 2 blog.wordpress.com. I am on Twitter at mjbalesta2, on Facebook at Michael Balesta, and on Instagram at mjbalesta2. Archived videos on YouTube can be found by searching Michael Balesta Roman numeral 2. If you could, I would love your feedback on the comments section, and if you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much. May you have a great day, and thank you for watching. God bless you.